Hi everyone, welcome to week 3. I hope you're all having a good weekend and got to enjoy some time doing whatever it is that you enjoy. I know I'm going to have a busy week coming up. My son is getting married on September 3rd, so next Saturday. So we have a lot of hustle and bustle going on around here. So if I'm a little delayed responding to you this week, that is probably what's going on. I apologize. I'm going to still try and check every single day so that I can stay on top of it. But if I'm delayed, please forgive me, and that's going to be my excuse going forward. So I got a chance to, I think, look at almost everybody's concept charts and your narrated presentations, and those were really good. Some of you were very creative and good with PowerPoints. I made some comments on everybody's presentations, things to work on and improve. Like, for example, some of them had difficulty linking the audio file within their slide, and that just made it a little cumbersome to watch. So I know the help desk can be really good at navigating that kind of problem. So if you could work with them prior to the next one, or if you have done it successfully and wouldn't mind sharing, like in the discussion forum, how you accomplish that, that would be really helpful to your classmates. A couple notes from last week, some of the presentations too. Just one thing I wanted to remind people, like for example, in discussing the different disorders and the testing and options that are available for patients, is that remember and present in class that I'm going to have a visitor here, so I apologize. This is my cat, Poncho. Say hi. Say hi. Yeah, he's kind of nosy. There's Poncho. Anyways, just remember to that we're going to offer these options to patients, even like the AFP and prenatal testing. Those are optional tests that I like to just advise all my patients about, but they certainly have every right to refuse or decline whatever options are available. So I just wanted to make sure that that was something that you tucked in the back of your brain, even if there was something abnormal, and you would assume that would be the next step. It's the next step that you'll offer to your patients, but it does not necessarily mean that they have to accept that. So I just wanted to remind you of that. Let's see what on my list I had. A couple things I wanted to mention. Oh, also, the AFP is a test that is appropriate for open neural tube defects, but now we have free cell DNA testing, or non-invasive perinatal testing, that can be done as early as 10 weeks gestation. They do not test for open neural tube defects or open abdominal wall problems either. So those would typically be caught at an ultrasound. I think a lot of places are moving away from the AFP just because those genetic tests are so accurate and can be done so early in a pregnancy, and the AFPs, quad screens and that, aren't as accurate. They have a high false positive rate and have to be done in a very specific window of time. Certainly there's a place for them. I just wanted you to be aware that I would say the majority of practices now are using the free cell DNA testing for genetic and chromosomal disorders very early in pregnancy. And the side benefit of that is that they are able to identify fetal gender as early as 10 weeks, and that is not the reason they should be doing the testing. It's just supposed to be a bonus, but just something to keep in mind. And the last thing was that a lot of people said in their narrations that the patient should call their doctor, and I think you need to just start getting in your mind now that you'll be their provider. So instead of saying calling the doctor, you could say call the midwife, or I say speak with your provider, because their provider might be a nurse practitioner or a DO or a nurse midwife or whatever. So language can be very important, so just don't exclude yourself from future visits or encounters with patients with your own language. So just something to think about. I'm going to try and share my screen here so that we can see what else we did. So that was week 2. I know some people have been asking about the case study viewing, and that was each of yours to print, or you didn't have to print it off, but have to complete that table and individually complete the table, and you were to watch every presentation. So of course you don't have to watch it over and over, comment over and over, just per group. So like what you could comment group A or list the students there, and then what their topic was, 3 important takeaways from their presentation or things that you would want to remember for your future practice, and then 3 potential questions you might have about that topic that would pertain to your practice in the future. So that was the goal with that assignment. Going into week 3, this week we're going to focus more on infection, inflammation, and immunity. So again, if you could remember, try and complete the pre-quiz right away going into the week, because that will kind of help guide you into areas that maybe you need a little more time to study. So start there, just to get that done and out of the way. As you remember, it's not graded based on number correct, but it is a requirement for the course, and you do lose points if you do not complete it. There's some readings in Porth on 9, 10, 11, and 12. And there's some PowerPoints down here if that helps you learn to reinforce your learning, if you want to see it written in bullet point presented that way. There's some animations as well that if that helps you to learn things, please use that. These are just optional things that might help solidify some of these topics for you. And there's some other little videos down here. So depending on how you learn and what your preference is, you can do all of them, can do some of them, whatever you'd like to do. There's no forms this week, so that's good. The last 2 weeks have been kind of heavy on that. There is a Module 3 assignment. It's kind of like in the quiz format that you complete and submit by Sunday at midnight. And then there's the World Health Organization modules. I'll click into that. So this week it's on vaccine safety, and I see a few people have already completed that, so that's great. It tells me that it's up and live and working, so that's very good. There's 6 modules. Each module has a quiz at the end. After you've completed the modules, there's a final assessment, and you need to get at least 80% on that final assessment in order to receive their record of achievement. It says here again that it should take about 5 hours to complete. I don't think it's really taken that long. I went through and did it. It didn't take that long. You can start and stop. You can go at your own pace, whatever works for you. And here's how you get to the site. And then when you've completed and you got your record of achievement, then you're going to just turn in a screenshot of that. And that's it for that. That's my cat. He's fine. He's spoiled rotten. And then the disease pathology paper, if you have not selected your topic yet for that. Looks like there's plenty of openings. I didn't go through and count how many are in here. Looks like a good chunk of you have picked your topic though, so that's great. But if you haven't, there are some choices here. If you wanted to do something that was not listed on there, or you had a topic that you were interested that I hadn't written down, just feel free to contact me and let me know what it is and maybe why you're interested in that, and we'll talk it over, I guess. But if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Like I said, I'll try to be watching. I try and get online at least once a day. During the week when I'm at work, I try and log in a few times and just make sure there's no pressing questions. But I really wish you all the best. I'm here to help you succeed on your journeys, and let me know how I can do that. Have a fantastic week. Talk to you next week. Bye bye.